So this is part 1 of What If Deku Was the Son of Zeus. This was inspired by the Blood of Zeus Netflix show, but with my own fun interpretation. As baby Deku was playing with the rattle, he was shaking it, and due to his strength, the beads inside the rattle burst through the rattle. And when he shook it again, there was no rattle noise, causing him to throw the rattle and cry. As baby Deku cried, the clouds started to form. The wind started howling violently. The lightning and thunder could be heard as there were multiple lightning strikes striking buildings. As baby Deku grew more and more angry, his eyes started to change, as the lightning was coursing through every inch of his body. As he started radiating lightning and started floating, the winds and lightning became even more destructive. Now there were multiple storms outside of Inko's house, terrorizing and hurting people. Inko, hearing the storms and baby Deku's cries, started to run towards him. But when she ran to him, he was surrounded by lightning, so she used her quirk to pull him in his crib. But when she got closer to him, the lightning was still surrounding him, making her stand back. As Zeus, sleeping, got up, saw what was happening, turned to a bird and flew down to Inko. As he got there, Deku's rage had only gotten worse, as every house in the block had been destroyed either because of the lightning or the hurricane. As he transformed to his human form and entered Inko's house. As he entered the house, he saw baby Deku radiating lightning as he transformed into his godly form. Inko said, "Save him!" as he held baby Deku and said, "Little thunder shaker, don't you cry. Father's gonna sing you a lullaby. If they anger you, don't fret, because Father will strike them and have their head. I'll throw lightning and have them beg, but if they don't bow, I'll end them instead." As Deku was slowly starting to calm down, the lightning in his eyes had vanished, and he had a smile on his face as Zeus gave him a divine rattle. As baby Izuku rattled the rattle, Zeus formed a little cloud and put him on it, so he was just floating through the room. As Hera woke up from her slumber and realized that Zeus was in the bed, she got up to look over Olympus. And Zeus, realizing that she was watching him, put a seal on Deku, sealing some of his divine powers to hide him from Hera, and said, "Around the age of 14, the full extent of his divinity will be revealed. Be ready, for the challenges he will face will be immeasurable." "Zeus, don't go." "Baby, I'm like lightning. I never strike the same place twice." As Zeus is about to fly away, "Zeus!" "Fine!" Kind of model trying to put me in child support. "Fine, I'll visit often. There. You happy? Bye." As Zeus went outside, cleared the sky, and flew back to Olympus. As he arrived back in Olympus, Hera said, "Where were you? And what was with that storm?" "Oh, I sneezed and I started a storm." "My fault." "Really? How do I know you're not out cheating?" "Hera, relax. It's just a little storm. I just want to clear it up. I caused immortals enough trouble. Don't destroy the civilians over a misunderstanding." Alright. Now cutting to Deku's quirk assessment. "Ma'am, after examining your son, we've concluded that he has some strange strength superpower. It's fairly weak, but it's there. His strength won't really change from what we concluded. Not a kindergarten." As Baku was asking people what their quirks were, Deku said, "I have a strength quirk." "Really? Test it out." As Deku was barely able to lift the chair, Baku laughed and said, "Haha, you're weak. Whatever, I'll get stronger and be like All Might. Huh, in your dreams." From then on, Deku and Baku became rivals. At first, Baku was much stronger than Deku, but as time went on, Baku started noticing that every year there was a massive spike in Deku's abilities. With Deku at first barely being able to lift the table, to being able to lift chunks of metal, to being able to easily throw boulders. Added with the fact that Deku had been learning martial arts since he was young, because he had a weak quirk. Baku felt extremely motivated to train and gain power, because he knew every year Deku's body would drastically change and go stronger. He started observing that Deku's body was becoming resistant and impervious to heat and electricity, and during his sparring sessions with Deku, he would have to output more powerful blasts to harm him. Now to the beginning of the story. After waiting 4.5 hours to buy the newest Yeezys, Adidas store clerk came outside and said, "Thank you all for waiting, but it's come to our attention that there's been a villain sighting close to the city. So we decided to wait until the villain has been apprehended to unveil new shoes." Deku, hearing this, started to get angry as his eyes started turning blue. Electricity could be seen radiating off of his eyes, and people's phones were turning off and on. As the store clerk said, "But for all those here, we will have them sent directly to your house." As Deku started to calm down, his eyes had turned back to normal. Unbeknownst to him and everyone in the line, he was radiating electricity in his anger. After the store clerk got everyone's address, Izuku went on a jog home, when unbeknownst to him he would encounter the sludge villain. Zeus, seeing this, said, "It's time." As he was about to go to Deku, he realized that Hera was blessing a family's wedding near him, so he went down to get her as far away from Deku as possible. Hera, in the form of a peacock, blessed the newlywed and smiled, when Zeus came down in the form of a hawk and said, "Does it remind you of our wedding, dear?" "Yes, it does. I remember how happy you were and how much you enjoyed yourself." "I remember as well. Back when you wouldn't cheat and were more faithful." "Hera, I may do things here or there, but you you're the only one I really love. And besides, I haven't committed infidelity in years. Of course you haven't. Most of the population are your descendants, either you or your children's children. Come on, it's not that big of a deal. 80% of the world is related to you by blood. Okay, but that doesn't mean I'm the sole perpetrator. Yeah, but you're not exactly being a good role model. Look, all the gods cheat with other humans. Yeah, but I don't, and that's why I love you the most. Look, you're the only one I truly care about, and I promise to remain faithful. As they were taking flight back to Olympus, Hera noticed that a kid with bluish gray hair was being attacked by a sludge villain. As Deku was being attacked by the sludge villain, he started becoming consumed by it. As it started to wrap around him, as he started to get agitated, as he started thinking, Screw this, I'm not gonna die here. I'm gonna become the best hero. I'm gonna become the best hero this world's ever seen. As a cloud started to form and crackling could be heard, as lightning started to descend on the surrounding buildings, as Deku started to exert electricity from his body, incinerating the sludge villain, leaving only a small part of it left as it escaped and was soon going to attack Baco. As Hera seeing this said, You lied to me. Go get your because I swear I'll make his life a living hell. As Hera flew up to Olympus and Deku collapsed due to exertion. As Zeus went down, got Deku and brought him to his house. As Deku woke in his bed, he saw a tall man with grayish blue hair and beard, wrapped in a golden blue toga with golden ornaments and jewelry, with golden arm guards. Who are you? I'm your father, Zeus, the god of the sky, lightning and the thunder, among other things. No. My father is Sazashi, and he's working overseas. As Zeus transformed into a middle-aged man. No. How's this? You visited last month. How are you? Hizashi Midoriya does not exist. I made up the identity so that I could visit and communicate with you from time to time, and supply you and your mother with money and resources. Why have you hidden yourself? Think of being a god as a job. We each have to manage and maintain our respective territories. Some gods manage the weather, some manage the dead, and so on. The world would crumble if the gods sent it to all of their children and descendants. Quirks are simply the inherited recessive genes of demigod children who didn't manifest divine powers, resulting in the subpar manifestations of quote-unquote quirks. But due to the high number of divine descendants, the breeding of people with quirks results in the birthing of an offspring with more powerful quirk, or simply a higher concentration of divine blood. To some, this is commonly referred to as quirk singularity. Adversely, you are the few demigods who have directly inherited divine attributes and strength. Anyway, the gods are too selfish and immature to raise their children, myself included. When gods have multiple children and regularly see them, they tend to become possessive and overbearing, blessing their children with riches, power, fame, and such forth, oftentimes getting into conflict with other gods and their children, mainly ending in meaningless conflicts and wars between the gods and their children, destroying civilizations and empires due to trivial matters. So to circumvent this from happening, I declared it unlawful for the gods to regularly see their children, or directly interfere in the lives of demigods and mortals, so that they can keep their emotions in check. Not to mention the wrath of the spouses of the gods they cheated on. Mostly, that is our current situation. My wife Hera has found out about your existence, and she's less than pleased. I'm gonna try to solve the situation, but most likely she'll try to kill you and your mother in the future. So to prevent that from happening, I set up multiple clouds and thunderstorms to block you and your mother from her reach. Why did she just not discover me then? That was because I put a seal on you exactly 14 years from this day that restricted your divine powers. Every year the seal weakened and you gain more access to your divine powers. And now the seal has been undone and your body still has to adjust to its new capabilities. I will train you to master your powers, but first I need to try to calm down the situation with Hera. Stay put. As Zeus went outside, turned into a hawk and flew away. As Zeus arrived in Olympus, he was greeted by an angry Hera. Look, Hera, it was a mistake. A mistake? A mistake! How many more bastards are you gonna have? How many more bastards are you gonna have? Hera, look. So what I mess up here and there, you're still the only one I care about. Like I haven't heard that one before. Mark my words. You little and bastard will pay. As Hera got control of Zeus and slammed him to the ground. As Zeus powered up and said, You won't touch me! Fine! I won't touch them, but someone else will. Tell them to be prepared, for they will face the wrath of demons. As Hera turned to a crow and flew off. As Zeus sighed and went back down to earth. As Deku was outside stretching, Zeus teleported in front of him. It's time. Time for what? It's time for the training. The enemies you face will be demons. Every villain is the offspring of demons and some lesser god, but knowing that, Hera is most likely going to increase her concentration of demonic blood. I'm not ready. I'm not ready for that. That's why I'm going to train you. Now, let's go. As Zeus grabbed Deku, as they teleported to an uninhabited sunny island. As Zeus powered up, the clouds started to form, and lightning can be seen as it started to hit the island. To gain control of your divine lightning, we need to train your body to withstand the lightning. So you need to calm down, focus, and feel the lightning as it courses through you. I want you to focus on that feeling of the lightning going through your body. I'm going to shock you. We need to focus and absorb and release it. As Zeus started to slowly shock Deku, as he started to feel pain, focus. Clear your mind and let it enter your body. As Deku started to absorb the lightning, as it coursed through his veins, as his eyes started to light up. Now release it. As Deku surrounded his body and the surrounding area with lightning. Great. Now how does this feel? As Zeus charged up the lightning and poked Deku. It slightly hurts, but not as badly. Good. Now it's time for physical training. To throw lightning, your reflexes need to be as fast as lightning, so get ready to run. As Zeus powered up, the clouds started to form, and lightning and thunder could be heard as lightning was striking the island. As Deku said, "Wait, what?" Run! As the lightning coming from the clouds started to get louder and louder, as Zeus waved his hand down, an onslaught of lightning rained down on Deku. As Deku running as fast as he could, the lightning kept striking every part of his body, forming Lichtenberg figures on his arms and legs, as he screamed in anger and pain. Focus and absorb, cause I'm not stopping. As Deku started to run, the lightning started to strike him, but as he was running, he started to focus and absorb the lightning, as it became less painful, as he started to enjoy the feeling of it coursing through him. As he started to focus in his legs, he started getting faster and faster, easily dodging the lightning bolts, as Deku's body started radiating lightning, incinerating everything that was close to it. Great, how do you feel? I feel the lightning and electricity coursing through me. It's warm and fast as it travels inside of my body. Good. But what's up with these weird tattoos? Those are Lichtenberg figures. Lichtenberg figures are branching electric discharges that sometimes appear on the surface or the interior of insulating materials, or simply the skin's reaction to lightning strikes. Are these permanent? Usually no, but you're divine, so they are for you. What? Only for your arms and forearms. Think of it as a badge of honor, or a reminder of my suffering. Well, if this is what you call suffering, then Hera's wrath is going to be hell. As you said, well, now that you got used to getting struck by lightning, we're going to play tag. What? Yeah, I'm going to throw even faster, more painful lightning bolts at you, and you're going to run and get struck by them until you can absorb and throw them back. What? Get ready, as Zeus with a smile on his face started to radiate lightning, as he raised his hand and started to form lightning, as Deku started to run and Zeus threw the bolt at him, making him scream. Now to Hera, as Hera went to the giant's remains and got its blood, and gave it to Alpha 1 to make no moves. Why are you giving me this? I thought you hated me. I do, but I need you to kill Zeus's bastard, Azuki Midoriya. Use these to make more Noahs and demonic servants and him and his mother. I've sent my crows to find her, but when I find him and his whore, you need to kill them. Why are you having me do this? Don't question me, just do your ass. Fine then, it shall be done. And that's it. Sorry if the voices were kind of loud. I'm kind of experimenting with like the god voices, I guess. But as you can see later on, the video got better. But I mean, because I was just trying, because I didn't know which one I would use for final. But I'll leave them in. So right now I'm working on a script because I just finished like finals. But next semester I guess I'm going to like business school, so I don't know about my schedule. Like honestly, because I was trying to make my schedule more consistent, but then I'm like, okay, now then I have to go to business school next month, so I'm gonna try to put out more videos. I don't know how well it's gonna go, but yeah. I hope you liked the video. Like, subscribe, sub. Don't be a bitch. Bye.